Hi everyone, it's Justine. I'm coming to you after literally the hottest summer I ever experienced. And given the shape and condition of the house pre-renovation, in short, it was not fun. I'm seeing a pigeon. Don't you dare land on my terrace. You know what? Let's start this vlog instead with the fun part. What was fun this summer? For the first time, I went to see the lavender fields. You know, it's a huge cultural thing. It's like in Japan, in spring you go watch the cherry blossom, Hanami Yoshimasu, and in Provence, in summer, you go watch the lavender fields before the harvest. Today I need salt to see the lavender fields because it's exactly the right season to do that. They're blooming and in 2 weeks' time they will have been harvested, so the flowers will be completely gone and the fields won't look purple anymore, they look green. Lavender production is a huge thing in southern France. The essential oil made from the flowers is super expensive and very coveted by the fragrance industry, typically. I wish you could smell it through the screen because that's the best part of the whole thing. Okay, now comes the nerd minute, the cultural minute of the video. Do you know how to recognize real lavender from the fake one, the so-called lavandin? So lavender, fine lavender, is the real thing, but it only grows above 500 meters. So typically the more south you go towards the Mediterranean Sea in France, the more you'll see not fine lavender, but lavandin, which is a variation of it. It's easier to grow, it produces more, it's cheaper, it smells quite similar. So often what you will purchase in essential oil or in dry flowers is in fact lavandin, unless you go to the region of Salt where they have the real thing. On that day, I actually bought a little bush, like one bush of fine lavender to put on my terrace. The entire terrace smells fabulous. Like one is enough. In fact, I'm going to show you the terrace because you haven't seen it yet. Actually, you might have heard about the huge fires in the southern half of France. All summer, it was terrible. Even Greece was sending planes to try to control the fires because France couldn't get it under control anymore. Huge surfaces burned down completely, no recovery possible. Like it's going to take years to recover. I saw sunflowers dying. Yeah, like sunflowers, the flower that usually looks towards the sun, they were looking down, so sad, and dying like on the fields before the harvest. The wine harvest, they started harvesting earlier as they've never seen before. They were scared that the grapes would just dry out before they were mature enough to be collected. And you know, in France, it's not allowed, or at least here in the region, it's not allowed to water the wine because it's part of the experience. When you taste the wine, you're supposed to be able to say which year it's from. And so if you water it, then all yours are gonna taste the same and nobody wants that. So it's not allowed. And so the winemakers were like, make it rain, make it rain. Very stressful for everybody who works in fresh produces. Yesterday it rained once, which is such a relief, but we need more of it. A lot more of it. Now I'm gonna show you the terrace. And you know what? It's the first time in weeks that you can actually stand here without melting. This is the widest angle that I can get here from the corner. So you see there are 2 levels. To be honest, I haven't really started thinking about the terrace. Right now I'm focusing on the inside of the house. So if you have ideas on how to decorate it, it needs decoration and it needs a lot more shade because in the afternoon there is no shade anymore, not even from the house itself. Please let me know in the comments. I'm thankful for suggestions. So what you see there, this window and this door, this is the kitchen, which you saw last time. Here next to me, there is a little corner for a barbecue. Well, you would need to take the vine out because otherwise you cannot really cook in there. You're gonna burn the leaves. But there is that. And there is vine all around, which is really pretty on this wall. The vine got a sunburn, but it's requested not to water in gardens, not to wash cars, not to change the water in pools, because we need water for agriculture and drinkable water. So this is how it's gonna be, but it doesn't matter because I don't have wine to produce or anything, right? So it's really pretty, and it goes all over, all around the terrace, and it's climbing on the stone wall, which I find really cool. My favorite part in this wall are actually the openings. See, the holes? And the vine is kind of growing through that. I really like it. During the hot weeks, all the plants were inside the house because they couldn't take it outside. We built an irrigation system during the hot days that would feed all the plants with water drops several times per day and during the night, so they would stay hydrated. And basically that's how they even survived. This lemon tree is living its best life. It's making lemons. Very happy about this. Basically citrus fruits like the lemon at the back and this mini orange thing, they're loving the heat. Look how many fruits it's producing. The Laurier Rose is not happy, but it made it and it will survive. These are really easy to just trim and then they start again like wildfire. So that I'm not worried about. This one will make it for sure. The cactus is loving the heat, obviously. Drought is no problem. Then I'm turning around and there's also this part, which is a covered terrace. Here's the roof. It's pretty big, but I haven't been really using it yet for two main reasons. The first one is, as you can see, there is no door, no closure. So as soon as the wind blows, everything on the terrace, like the leaves, the dirt, the sun, the mosquitoes, whatever, everything comes in here and stays in here. So it's never really clean. You can see the roof from beneath. It's not insulated at all. During the heat wave, this would heat up so much that in the evening, when the terrace cools down slightly, it remains just as hot in here. So you could not really use this space neither during the day nor at night. So here, same question. If you had a space like this covered, what would you do with it? Initially, I thought this would be a really cool gym or a place to have lunch outside, but covered in the shade. Now I'm wondering if those ideas make sense at all, or if I want to do something completely different in here. Let me know what you think. And then here, this is the useless owl. I can tell you it's not working, it doesn't work. This is the door that goes inside towards the bathroom, which you saw in the previous video. So the terrace is facing west, which is fabulous because this wall during sunset becomes yellow and warm orange and pink, and it's absolutely beautiful from the sunset light. However, you see there are several windows on that side facing west without, with a DIY curtain, but without shutters at the moment. I documented the evolution of the temperature inside the house versus outside the house at different times of the day across several days, because in France, you're not allowed to just change the outside look of your house without a permit, without an authorization, because no matter the size of the place where you live, it can be a city, a town, or a tiny village, they want to keep the look and feel of France authentic, because France is a huge tourism region and it also helps with tourism. So if you want to add shutters to your facade, you have to ask for a permit. It takes months. So I want to add shutters during the renovation, of course, but we couldn't have them quick enough for this summer. So it was so hot in the house, which it is a problem that can be solved because the walls are thick. So if we change the windows, the doors, insulate the roof, we can get this completely under control, and then the house will be totally cool inside during the next heat wave and in summer in general. But right now, we couldn't have that, and so it was really painful. You know, inside the house, there was nowhere else to hide. It's like at 30 degrees, everything's fine. At 40 degrees Celsius, run for your life. In fact, I did, because I spent half of August in the Alps. In the end, my biggest learning from living in this house for a few months is that it needs to be insulated. This I knew, but not so much to protect it against the cold. It's rather to protect it against the heat, especially if we're going for hotter and hotter summers. It's probably the best piece of advice that I got from a friend who is an architect. He said, you need to live in the house before you start thinking about the renovation, because your priorities are going to switch and you're going to find out things you didn't know. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was not able to film a fashion video for weeks because, like, just putting on clothes, I would start sweating in the house. It just wasn't possible. So ventilation is getting a much higher priority. Changing the windows and the doors, I thought that could wait a little longer. It cannot. It has to be done before spring next year. The terrace needs to be closed somehow. The tiles need to be changed on the roof. I'll show you next time. There are glass tiles that are a terrible idea when the sun is shining right on top of them. I'm moving closer to the wall again because the sun is coming, I'm losing ground. I was talking about insulation. To give you an example, my office is in the upper floor. It used to be an attic, so it's right under the roof, and the insulation is not good. There were 8 weeks in a row this summer where I couldn't use my office because it was so hot. I would start sweating immediately. Like, I could not physically film a fashion video without sweating on camera, which is not fashionable, you'll agree. So I had to pause a lot of what I usually do in my office, and it's obviously a problem. Now they're announcing cooler days in the coming days, so very much looking forward to that, so I can use the chance and film fashion videos for September. You know, in September, back to school, back to work, fall fashion. Normally I do fashion trends. I talk about capsule wardrobes a lot to get you kick-started into the fall winter season. So I'm going to be able to do that finally in the coming days. If you're new to the channel and you made it so far in the video, congratulations. Don't forget to subscribe. Welcome to the new subscribers who joined me in August while I was in hiding in the Alps. If you saw my latest post on Instagram, then you know about my hiking experience. I'll see you very soon in a new video. Until then, take care. Bye.